Hello and welcome back to my channel, Beautiful Journey. My name is Tina and I am really glad that you decided to spend some time with me. Today I'm going to take you along on a get ready with me as I create this green and red Christmas look as part of a 15-channel Christmas collaboration. We've divided the collaboration into two groups, one with 8 channels and one with 7, in order to make the giveaways a little more manageable. I think all of the channels are doing giveaways. If you go down to the description box, you'll see the two groups, Group 1 and Group 2. I am part of Group 1, and so if you want to be eligible for my giveaway, you would need to be publicly subscribed to all 8 channels in Group 1 and use the word that I'm going to give you at some point in this video in a sentence in the comments. If you want to be eligible for all 15 of the giveaways, then you would need to be subscribed to all of the channels. If you only want the giveaways in Group 2, then you only need to subscribe to the channels in Group 2. I hope that makes sense and it's not too confusing. If you have any questions, definitely leave them in the comments below and I will try to explain it as best as I can. So the idea of the collab was to create a green and red makeup look. That was the only parameters we were given, and so we were able to use our creativity to create a look. So I hope that I have achieved a look that you might want to wear to a Christmas party or to a gathering with family and friends. If you would like to see how I created this look, then step back in time with me to when I was barefaced and I will take you through it. Okay, so here we are barefaced and ready to put some makeup on for this Christmas collab look. I do plan to use the BH Naughty palette, which was their Christmas palette from last year. And I know it's got snowflakes and stuff on it, but I use this palette all year round. I do tend to use it more in the fall and winter just because of the color story seems to be to me more fall. But I am going to pull in these greens down here and some peaches and gold, and there might be glitter. So because of that, I'm going to do my eyes first. I don't normally do that, and it presents a little bit of a conundrum to me because I like to have my eyebrows done when I do my eye makeup. It gives kind of a nice frame for it, but I've never been very good at putting on foundation after my eyebrows are done. I tend to have to redo my eyebrows. So I think I'll just skip the eyebrows and put them on after I do my foundation, but it'll be fine. Because it's a special occasion makeup look, I took a little more time with my skincare today. In the shower, I did an exfoliating face scrub. Then I put on my serums and my moisturizer and my eye cream. And then I used some hydrogel eye patches for under the eye while I was drying and straightening my hair. And then when I sat down to film, I moisturized again with an eye cream under my eyes, so that they feel pretty plumped up and hydrated. And then I blotted with a tissue to get any excess eye cream off so that there would be less creasing of my concealer when I get to that point. I also exfoliated my lips with the e.l.f. Sugar Scrub Lip Exfoliator because I'm going to be using a red lip, and you want your lips to be as smooth as possible when you're using a color that bold. I'm going to put on a little of this raw sugar lip balm while I'm getting ready. Then we will clip my hair, my bangs back. While I am going to do my eyes before my complexion products, I do want to put my primers on first so that they have time to soak in. And I'm going to be using the e.l.f. Jelly Pop primer all over the face, and then the e.l.f. Poreless primer just in my T-zone where I have larger pores. The Jelly Pop primer is a watermelon scented, but it's a very light watermelon scent. It's not horribly heavy, and you can smell it when you put it on, but it dissipates quickly and it's fresh and really pleasant. But it provides a kind of a tacky surface for your makeup to adhere to, and I really like the way my makeup wears with it. Then I'm going to take just a little bit of the putty primer on my finger here, and just in places where I have bigger pores, sides of my nose, tops of my cheeks, a little bit around my nose, on my forehead, and I'm just going to be pressing that in, and of course on my chin. I would really press it into those pores, just like spackle. Prime that canvas and get it ready for the base products. Okay, so that is going to sit there while we do our eye makeup, and I am going to use the e.l.f. eye tape. I like to cut one in half because one is plenty long enough to do both eyes. You're just going to line it up underneath your eye and continue the angle up past the corner of the eye. As I usually do when I'm doing eye makeup, I will do one eye on camera, and then I will go ahead and do the other eye, but I will edit that part out. So you'll see both eyes progressing together, but I will only have one on camera. Now I'm going to put on my eye primer. I'm going to use the e.l.f. Putty Eye Primer in Rose. And you can see I use this quite a bit. I use it every day. This is my second pot of this. And the way I use it is I scrape a little bit out on my fingernail, transfer that to my index finger, rub those together. It's kind of dry and chunky when you first put it on your finger, but as you rub it, it gets super creamy. And then just pat that on the lid and press it into the lines and creases, all the way in the corner, all the way up to the brow bone. It does even out the skin tone. And a lot of people say they don't like it because they've tried to put it on with a brush straight out of the pot, or to rub their finger in it straight out of the pot, and I've never had success with that. But if I use it this way and let it set before I put my eye makeup on, my eye makeup stays all day long, doesn't crease, doesn't move. I'm going to give that just a minute to dry and set, and I'll be right back. Once it's set, before I go in with the shadow, I will tap it out with my fingers one more time just to make sure I'm not setting in any creasing. And then I'll go and start with my shadows. Like I said, we're going to be using the BH Naughty palette, which is the holiday palette from last year. And the first color I'm going to go into is Meringue. It's this light color right here. And I'm going to set from crease to brow bone with that. It's about my skin tone, so if you're lighter or darker than me and you want to follow this look, you can use this color or find one that matches your skin tone. And I like to set this area because it helps with blending. It also helps kind of lighten up the inner corner, but just provides a nice foundation for shadows. So I'm going to leave that brush out because I will be using that again to help as I blend. Then I'm going to use the Shayna B Fluffy Blending Brush. And I'm going to go into my Baby Got Peach for my transition shade because I want to use this, whoop, sorry about that with the mirror. I want to use this peachy color right here. So I'll go in, tap off, and I'm just going to lay this down in the crease and slightly above. And the nice thing about having the tape, you don't have to worry about getting the eyeshadow too far down because the tape is going to give you a nice line. And then I will look directly into the camera and see that, make sure that I can see that color, and I need a little bit more just under the brow bone. Then I'm going to go into the Shayna B Shadow Brush, and it's a little bit denser. It's also shaped so that it's a little bit flat, if you can see that. And I am going to go into this color down here called Frosting. It's a peachy color, a little bit darker than what I just was working with. And I'm going to put that right into the crease a little bit lower. And what we're doing here is we're just adding dimension by layering those colors. I'm going to take this flat shader brush now, and I'm going to go into Balsam, which is this green right here, and I'm going to start laying that color down in the outer V and outer third of the eye to start going into the green. And I'm just using this brush to place the color, and then I will blend. And I am placing that color in a wedge shape in the outer third of the eye. I'm then going to take a clean blending brush and I'm going to start blending that green, bringing it in the crease. And I will go back and forth with adding color and then blending until I have the depth and intensity that I want. Now I'm going to dip into this shimmer here called Mistletoe. It's kind of a greeny olive gold, but it's fairly dark. And I'm just going to go into that with my finger. You can see it's kind of a shifty green, and put that on over that color that I just did, but only in the outer portion of the lid. Now I'm going to take this color right here, Very Merry, on my ring finger, and it's a brighter green, and I'm going to lay that on the inner portion of the eye. And I actually probably should have used my pinky so that I could place it a little more precisely. Then I'm going to take that shader that I had with the darker green on it and rub it in my color switch, and I'm just going to use that to blend the edges of those two greens right in the center of the lid. A little bit more of that green in the crease. There we go. And if you notice with blending that you've lost a little bit of your shimmer, don't be afraid to go back and put it back in there. And yes, I'm using the same brush, but when I went in and dipped from the dark color to the light color, I flipped it over. There we go. I said there might be glitter, and I feel like doing glitter. So I am going to take this Hard Candy Poppin' Pigments glitter stay, and I'm going to grab another flat shader brush. This one's clean. I'm going to put a little bit of the glitter glue on my finger. Then I'm going to take the brush and dab it in there and put that just in the center of my lid because that's where I want the glitter. I'm going to use the same brush, but flip it over. And I'm going to go into this color up here, Jingle Bells. And pick some up. And then I'm going to just dab it in the center like that. Oh, that's so pretty. I'm going to put just a little bit more of that light color on that first brush I used and come in and blend those edges just a little bit. And then I'm going to put that away for now because I will come back and do under my eye when I have my base products on. Then I'm going to pull the tape off, and you can see that I have this line, and I don't have any of those dark colors then pulling down the eye on the outer corners. I will connect this when I get to the under eye part. All right, let's go on to the face makeup now. I am going to use my Catrice HD Liquid Coverage Foundation in 030 Sand Beige, and it is almost gone, so I can't use the dropper anymore. It won't pick any up, so I'm going to just pour a little bit onto my ceramic palette, also known as my Dollar Tree ceramic soap dish. And I'm just going to put a little bit there. I have a dampened beauty sponge, but I have taken almost all of the moisture out of that. And the trick I have for doing that is to use the dry makeup cloth that I had used the night before. After I take off my makeup, I use one of these microfiber towels to help remove it and rinse it out and hang it up. And by the time I'm doing my makeup the next day, it's mostly dry. So when this is wet, then I'll take it and I'll squeeze it in here, and it takes most of the moisture out so that you have a mostly dry, dampened beauty sponge. Then I will take and dot that foundation around my face. I also have this foundation in 010 Light Beige, and because I have different needs for winter and summer, and because I'm doing an evening look right now, I went ahead and used this darker shade all by itself, but often I will blend the two together to get a lighter color for me. And in the winter time, I will blend, and then at some point I will switch over to using just the lighter color by itself. So I love this foundation. It lasts really well, looks really nice on the skin. Now you can see why I didn't want to do my eyebrows, because I am just not that good at avoiding them, and so I have to redo them anyway. And I always get settling in my creases right here by my lips, so I open my mouth and dab that. And I also have a fairly deep crease right here because I sleep on my side, and so I make sure that it's not settled in there. I'm going to take just a little bit extra and build that coverage a little bit. So there's the foundation, and I think that looks really nice. It's a very nice finish. I'm going to put the Bobbi Brown corrector in light bisque into my inner corners, and I'm going to use just a little bit because I don't want it to get too cakey with product there, but I want to cover those dark circles just a little bit more, and that peach will cancel out that dark color there. But I only use it right in the corner. I've noticed lately that if I'm not careful with how I blend, if I pull that way, then I will get grooves in my concealer. And so I'm trying to be much more conscious about how I blend that. For concealer, I'm going to use the Maybelline Fit Me concealer in 10. I think the little print says Fair. And that I will just kind of dab along the dark trough there and in the outer corner. Then I will use the e.l.f. Blending Perfector brush and sponge that I got as a set on sale to blend it in. I will start the blending with the brush. And then I will take the dry sponge and blend it out. And the dry sponge doesn't lift the coverage, which is what I was struggling with when I tried to use a damp sponge. It would remove the concealer rather than blending it out. So if I use the dry sponge, it takes up the excess, blends it, but doesn't remove too much. So in order to make this work and not always be using a dirty sponge, I wash it when I'm done with my makeup. And this one I wash before I start my makeup. So when I'm done, I will wash this sponge so that tomorrow it will be dry, but I won't wash this one until tomorrow because I want it damp. And I think that that looks really nice under my eyes. I haven't set it yet. I will set it. If you saw my e.l.f. haul, you saw that I was looking for something that would help up my concealer game. And this little set honestly really did. I'll post that link to that e.l.f. haul here so you can see me talk about this little set, but it's really good. I'm going to use the number 7 Lift and Illuminate Triple Action Finishing Powder in Light to set that under eye area. And I like to use my 10x magnifying mirror. I just kind of hold it there with that mirror. And before I go in with the powder, I check in the 10x mirror, make sure that I'm not setting any creasing, and then dab that powder right underneath. Got a little bit of glitter fallout happening, but hey, it's Christmas. Now I want to set the face. I'm not going to use any cream products today, so I'm going to go ahead and set my face, and I'm going to use the e.l.f. Halo Glow Setting Powder. And my color is light. I will tap just a little bit of that onto my palette and grab this fluffy tapered face brush. I think this was a LaRousse that I got in an Ipsy, and it's just a really nice big fluffy blending brush. So I'll pick up some powder there and then dab that around. And this is a really finely milled powder. Gives the face a little life as well as setting. Let me remove the foundation from the lips and reapply that balm again. And we're going to go back and finish the eyes. I'm going to take that flat blending brush that I was using for the deeper peach color, and I'm going to go into that deep peach color again. It's called Frosting. And I'm going to add just a little bit of Secret Santa to deepen it up a little bit. And I'm just going to tap that right under the eye just to start a base of color there. Then I'm going to take that brush, the flat shader that I was using, and I'm going back into Balsam just with the tip. I'm just tapping the tip in, and I'm going to tap off all of the extra and start deepening right along the lash line on the outer half. And I'm going to make sure that I connect that up to the outer corner, and that will help soften that line just a little bit, but also give a little bit of a shadowing. And if I want to blend, I want to make sure that I'm hitting and pulling this way because I don't want anything to go down below that line. And I get just a little bit of an uplift. For eyeliner, I'm going to take this Beauty for Real olive green that I got in an Ipsy, and I'm going to use that to line the waterline. And I'm going to use that right on the lash line on the bottom third, just the outer third. Then I'm going to use the same liner and I'm going to line along the lash line. I have the C-Color small smudge brush, and it's really stiff and very small, and I'm going to take that and just use it to smudge out that line. And because I have crepey lids, it tends to want to skip, and that's not the liner's fault. So doing this smudge step fills in any skips that might have happened and gives a smoother line. Okay. If you wanted to, you could take that and pull out a wing, but wings don't work on me, so I'm not going to do that. All right, let's get some eyebrows on. I'm looking crazy. So I'm going to just use this spoolie to brush my eyebrows, and I brush them down first and then brush them up because it kind of helps untangle them. I know there's not much there, but trust me, what's there is going into place. And then I'm going to use my Glam dual-ended pencil. It has a micro pencil on one end and a pen on the other. And I start with the micro pencil. I can't remember. I think this is soft brown is the color. It's not on here. And then I just start drawing in those fine hair strokes where I don't have much in the way of brow hair, which is the beginning and the tail. And then I will use it to define the bottom. And the arch. Then I will brush that through. So that it doesn't look too crazy. And then I'm going to take the pen end of it, and because when you brush it through, you lose the definition of the strokes. And I'm just going to, I'm very lightly touching to add those strokes back. Okay, so one brow done. I'll be back after I do the other one. I'm going to take a very tiny brush and I'm going to go into meringue and just clean up and highlight a little under that brow bone. Because I have glitter on my eye, I don't really want glitter on my brow bone as well. And I'm going to put that in the inner corner as well. I may use my highlighter in the inner corner too, but for now that just kind of helps brighten up that dark corner that I have. So until I get to lashes and mascara, my eyes are done. Let's go on to the face. So for bronzer today, I'm going to use the Milani Silky Matte Bronzer in 01 Sunlight. And I have hit Significant Pan on mine because I really love it. I'm going to use this angled Shayna B contour brush and swirl it in there. And then put that right under my cheekbones and then blend up. So I'm kind of using it as contour and bronzer in one. Right along there and blend up. I'm darkening, creating some shadow, contour, dimension to the face. I'll put it along my jawline, this area that's a little saggy. I'm going to create the illusion of a shadow. And chisel that jawbone just a little bit. Put it along the hairline. Then I'm going to pinch the brush and go down the side of the nose just a little bit. For blush, I'm going to use Essence, the blush in Bespoke. It's this really pretty peachy, bronzy kind of color. And I'm going to use this other contoured brush here, also an Ipsy, and put that right on the tops of the cheeks. Oh, that's pretty. I don't want my blush to compete with my eyes or my lips when I get to that point. So it has just a little bit of a sheen, I think, to it. It's really pretty. Then I'm going to take my sponge and I'm just going to blend that so that there aren't any edges in the foundation. Okay, highlighter. Let's do the Essence Pure Nude highlighter. And I'm going to take this little fan brush here and see if I can get the look that I want with that. If not, I'll change brushes. But we're going to just put this right on the tops of the cheeks. Yeah, I can see that better in the viewfinder than I can in my mirror. So we're just going right there with it. It makes this pretty natural but lit from within glow. A little bit on my nose, down the center, Cupid's bow. And I'm going to take my finger then and blend. The nice thing about this highlighter, it doesn't emphasize any texture, and it just gives you a kind of a candlelit glow from it. Once again, I'm going to take that sponge and just blend, and the powder brush, not putting anything else on it. I'm just going to swirl everything, make sure that we're blended. Okay. And yes, I am going to take that highlighter and that small brush that I used earlier and put just a little bit in the inner corner because I want a little more life there. I forgot, I wanted to put the Maybelline Lasting Drama Light Liner in gold on the lower waterline. I'm going to do that real quick. That just adds a brightness. And I'm going to now curl my lashes and I'll be right back. Before I put on lashes, I'm going to do my setting spray, and I am going to use the Urban Decay All Nighter because I really like how this makes my makeup last. So but I also like putting my setting spray on before I do my brow gel and my mascara, because I feel like if I put it on after, then it re-wets those products and I am much more likely to end up with mascara dots everywhere because I will open my eyes too wide and make a mess. For lashes today, I am going to use these No Show Wispies, and I think I got these at Five Below. I can't really remember. I've had them for a while, but I think I did get them from Five Below. They have an invisible band, which is really nice, and they are demi-wispy, but they're really thick and dramatic, and I think they'll be pretty with this. And I'm also going to use this liner glue that I got off of Amazon. It's the Magic Liner Lashed Up, and it came in a 2-pack. It has a clear and a black, but because I have that green, that dark green, I don't want to use the black. So it just looks like a felt tip liner pen. I'm going to use my 10x mirror so that I can see what I'm doing and just draw this on where I want those lashes to sit, right at the base of my lashes. So I will just line those up and set the center. This works better if I can look in my 10x mirror. All right, the inner corner isn't wanting to stick very well, so I'm going to put a little bit more. I'm going to use the liner and put a little more glue down. There we go. Yes, okay. So then I will put the liner on the other side. Feel free to talk amongst yourselves while I do this. That went on a little easier than the first one did. So either this lash was longer than this one, or this eye is smaller than this one, because I could have stood to have trimmed this one just a little bit. It's okay. It's not, I mean, it's not hugely big. It doesn't hang over or anything, but it did take me a little bit to get it lined up just right. I really like those lashes, and I really like that lash liner pen. I am going to put a little bit of mascara to blend my lashes with the false lashes because my lashes are very blonde. So I'm just going to go to the underside here. I'm not going to go all the way to the tip because the false lashes are just fine. It's just my own that are not. And that will blend them with the false lashes better. And then I will put lower lash mascara as well. Oh, by the way, I'm using the Essence Lash Princess, the green one, the false lash effect. And I can use this on my upper and lower lashes without flaking, smudging, that sort of thing. And on my brows, I'm going to use the Essence Make Me Brow in 03. In the places where I have a little bit of brow hair, I will cover them. And I kind of go back and forth and up and down to make sure that I get all sides of the hair covered. Since I don't have much, I want to make sure that what I have all gets covered. Then I'm going to do one last check in the mirror. I think I could use just a little more blush right here on the fronts of my cheeks. Blend it. And because I want my makeup to stay through the whole party, I'm going to grab my Makeup Revolution Conceal and Define Satin Matte Powder Foundation in P3. And I'm just going to take a little on my blender and pat that on right in the T-zone. It gives just a little more coverage, blurs everything, mattifies, and will increase the staying power of the base products. So there we go. Now I am going to change my shirt into what I might wear to a party, take down these bangs, comb through my hair. I might even put a couple curls in, and then I'm going to come back and do my lips. So I'll be right back. All right, so I'm back and I put in some earrings and changed my top. I'll back out a little bit so you can see more of my top. Put in a little bit of curl in my hair, and now we just need some lips. So I'm going to take off any lip balm that might be remaining on the lips. And I have my lip products right here. I'm going to use the Rimmel Exaggerate Lip Liner in Red Diva. When you do a red lip, you really do want to use a lip liner because that will help keep it from going everywhere. And actually, this is all I have left of this. I can't turn that up anymore. So I'm going to need to get a new red lip liner if I'm going to do this look for Christmas. And I will not overline my lips because I do not want to look like a clown. And someone who is better at overlining might be able to pull that off, but I can't. Okay. The lipstick I'm going to use is the Revlon Super Lustrous Lipstick in Red Diva. I was going to put a gloss on that, but I don't think I'm going to. I think I like it just the way it is. All right, so I have backed out the camera a little bit, got rid of my mirror. So you can see the top has these little rhinestone details across here, and I have these earrings that mimic that same shape. Then on the sleeves, there are these 3 crystal buttons. This shirt, by the way, I got at Ross last year, so I'm sorry that I can't link it. So now let's get to the fun part, the giveaway. All right, so I have a box here of things that is going to go to one lucky winner. And please understand that right now my giveaways are US only. I just can't afford the international shipping. I'm a small channel and I'm not monetized. So someday when hopefully that happens, then I'll be able to open it up to my international viewers. I appreciate all of you if you're watching from somewhere other than the US, and someday I hope to be able to include you in the giveaways. You must be 18 or older to enter. As I explained in the introduction, there are 2 groups that are doing this collab, and in order to be eligible for the giveaways, you must be subscribed to all of the channels in one group. If you want to be eligible for all of the giveaways in both groups, then you need to be subscribed to all of the channels in both groups, if that makes sense. And you need to be publicly subscribed. So I'm going to go through what's in the giveaway, and then I'll tell you your secret word, okay? So the first thing I have are these aloe-infused fuzzy socks with I thought it was a polar bear, but I think it's a puppy dog. But that's okay, because then you can wear them not just at Christmas time. And then before you put on your socks, you might want to put on this Sweet and Shimmer Peppermint Lotion. And it is sealed, but I could smell through the seal that it smells really good. While you're relaxing with your lotion in your feet, you can put on this Flower Radiance Boosting Sheet Mask, or join us on Mask Monday. I plan to do another one of those really soon. Remember, I said I was only going to do probably one a month. I have this cute little sheet of stickers, and while they're not Christmassy, when it's in the depths of winter and you need to be reminded of spring, you can just pull out your stickers and there's a little bit of spring on there for you. I also have 2 Wet n Wild brushes for you, the crease brush and the smoky liner brush. This crease brush would be similar to the fluffy blending brush that I used in this look, and then the smoky liner is a flat shader like I used to line the lower waterline or to pack on the color in the outer corner. So these two brushes could help you achieve a similar look to this. You are also going to get two palettes. The first one is the Wet n Wild Color Icon in Petalette. It's a really pretty rosy toned palette. And then the Sweet and Shimmer eyeshadow palette in these warm neutral tones. Whoops, it's sealed, so I don't want to open it, but it's hard to see because of the glare. To go with these looks, I have a Wet n Wild lip pencil in Lay Down the Mauves and the Wet n Wild Mega Last Matte in Bare It All. These two would make a pretty combination, kind of a mauve-y tone that will go really pretty with this eyeshadow palette. So that is the giveaway. And in order to enter, you need to use the secret word Frosty. Use Frosty in a sentence in the comments below, and I will use the YouTube comment picker to pick the winning entry. The giveaway will run from December 1st when this video airs until December 8th at midnight, and I will pick the winner on December 9th. That is all I have for you today. I know that's a long one, and I appreciate you hanging in here with me till the end. So let's take a good look at this makeup look for Christmas. I'm going to look down so you can see the eyes. If you choose to recreate it, please let me know down in the comments below. I hope that you enjoyed coming along as I created this holiday look, and I pray that you all have a blessed holiday season. See you in the next video. Bye! Because I'm doing a special occasion makeup look, I did a little... Why can't I talk? Because it's a special occasion makeup look, I did a little more... So I am going to... Let's get rid of the so's. So like I said, we're going to use the... Oh, why do I do that so? And I'm going to grab another flat shader blade. That's a hard word to say. Okay, now the last thing I'm going to do on my eyes is I'm going to go into this... I'm going to do Snow Day or Meringue. I think I'm going to go into Meringue. I don't think I want glitter up there. And I'm just going to highlight right under the brow bone. All right.